Okay, great. Good morning, all, and good evening in Afghanistan. I'd like to welcome to the Pentagon briefing room U.S. Army Colonel James H. Johnson, Commander of Task Force Bayonet and the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team. Task Force Bayonet is comprised of approximately 4,900 personnel and is responsible for counterinsurgency operations in the eastern Afghan provinces of Logar and Wardak. Colonel Johnson took command in October 2008 and deployed his unit to Afghanistan in November 2009. This is his first briefing in this format. Joining him from Forward Operating Base Shank today is the governor of Wardak Province since July 2008, Governor Mohammed Halim Badeh, and Jordanian Colonel Arif El-Zaben, Commander of Task Force Nashmi of the Jordanian Armed Forces in Logar Province, a position he assumed in June of this year. Our speakers will make some opening remarks, and then we'll take your questions. So with that, Colonel Johnson, I will turn it over to you.
Good morning. As already noted, I'm Colonel Jim Johnson, Commander of the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team, stationed in Logar and Wardak Province of Afghanistan. First, I'd like to thank OSD Public Affairs Office for allowing a modification in the normal press conference format and letting me to be joined by two of my closest partners, Governor Fadai of Wardak Province and Colonel Arif, the Commander of Task Force 222 of the Jordanian Armed Forces. We're currently at FOB Shank, which is located 70 kilometers south of Kabul. Together, our military and civilian partners are working to improve security, governance, and development for the people of Logar and Wardak provinces. Our current priority mission is the parliamentarian elections, which will occur on this Saturday. This is an Afghan-run process. The Independent Election Committee is responsible for the elections. The Afghan National Police are responsible for securing the polling sites. And the Afghan National Army is responsible for providing a wider ring of security during the election process. Throughout the process, ISAF will be there to support and ensure that a fair and transparent election occurs and that this is a strong step forward for the people of Afghanistan. I would also like to highlight a recent initiative for our team. It's a first of a kind called the Voices of Moderate Islam, in which Task Force Bayonet, along with the governments of Jordan and Saudi Arabia and charitable organizations, facilitated the travel of 34 local Afghan leaders to Jordan for a series of seminars on Islam and other cultures, and then followed by travel to Mecca for the Umrah. It is our desire that these Afghan leaders, recently returned to Logar and Wardak, bring back a broader, less radical interpretation of Islam and share it with their families and friends to counter the insurgents who attempt to subvert and misuse Islam to preach a message of intolerance to the people. We're seeing great progress with a program that we call the People's Development Fund. It's a second initiative I'd like to talk about. Again, this is another first in Afghanistan. This program uses SERP funding to sustain district governance. Previously, coalition forces have exclusively allocated SERP dollars. This is a process that may not be transparent. Using the People's Development Fund, it provides transparent district governance that empowers district committees to prioritize SERP and other funding sources for their communities. This effort allows the infusion of donor dollars and eventual Afghan funding at the district and provincial level. As we like to say, instead of just building bridges, roads, and schools, we are now building Afghan governance capacity to build and maintain bridges, roads, and schools. Both of these initiatives will be key as we continue to expand the bubble of security and prosperity out of Kabul. But we are not accomplishing this success alone. The ISAF team is supporting the Afghan leadership in a truly multinational fashion. In our two provinces, we have PRTs, Provincial Reconstruction Teams from Turkey and the Czech Republic. We are partnered with our Jordanian battalion, and additionally, we have forces from Hungary, New Zealand, and Britain who operate with our security forces. This is truly a global effort to bring prosperity to the Afghan people of Logar and Wardak Province, and I'd like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to explain this to you today. I'll be followed by Governor Fadai.
Good morning. I'm Governor Fidai of Wardak province. Wardak is a very strategic province located at the gateway of Kabul. I would like to talk very briefly about the progresses that we have made in three key areas: security, governance, and development. We have made significant progresses when we are comparing Wardak with a very dark era of the Taliban. We have made thousands of projects in Wardak province, and also the schools, clinics are open for boys, girls, male and female. And also we have also made significant progress in building the capacity of the Afghan National Police, Afghan National Army, and Afghan National Department of Security, which is called also Intelligence Department. All these progresses were made possible with a very great effective partnership of the Afghan people, Afghan national security forces, and also the coalition forces in Wardak province and across the country as well. I would also like to talk about the recent elections. These elections will be the first Afghan-led, Afghan-run elections. And only in Wardak province, 399 polling stations will be guarded by the Afghan National Police, supported by the coalition forces. We understand that the development of the ANSF is very crucial, both the individual capacity of the Afghan National Security Forces and the institutional capacity of our forces. Because in this election, we understand that the civil and military institutions are also experiencing, and it's a test for them to run first national elections. The Afghan people will go and choose their members of the parliament. And this is also a sign of progress, where the Afghans elect their members and their representatives instead of bullets through ballots. And I also like to talk about the progresses in the development sector. And I would like to give one example of the People's Development Fund. The People's Development Fund is very, very crucial to increase the capacity of the Afghan civil administrations in managing the development projects, because we think that through the People's Development Fund, the Afghan civil leaders, the district governors, and the provincial governor, they will have the opportunity to effectively manage these programs with a transparency and accountability of this program. This program will also increase the confidence and trust of the Afghan people on the government, because peoples are involved in the selections and monitoring and evaluations of these programs as well. With all these progresses, we do have some areas where we need improvement. The corruption. We understand that corruption is a big problem, and we understand that the corruptions can undermine the progresses that we have made so far. And we are trying to stop these corruptions at all levels, and also by improving the governance, engaging the public, and also the People's Development Fund could be also a vehicle to fight the corruptions and make everything and all projects available to the people, and the people then can make a final word on the success of these programs. And also, recently, I would like to talk about the burning of the Holy Quran by the issue of the burning of the Holy Quran. We understand that it never represent the American people and also other citizens of America, but it outraged and made the Muslims in Afghanistan very angry.